Hey, I wanted to hop on here today and I want to talk a little bit about abundance mindset versus scarcity mindset. Which are you? Do you even know the differences? Is that something you pay attention to? Is that something you work on? Is that something you're mindful of? So I want to give you some examples of scarcity mindset. There's never enough. I never have enough time. I'm not good enough. I have to compete in order to stay on top. I'm not going to share what I know because somebody else is going to take that idea and use it. I'm not going to help this person because they don't deserve it, or I don't want them to do better than me. There's not enough room for all of us. They think small and avoid risk, okay? So versus the abundance mindset where you're like, hey, I can collaborate and stay on top. Like, I'm not competing with anybody but myself. You embrace change because change is wonderful. Change is part of learning and growing. You share your knowledge. Hey, I want everybody to know what I know because if this helps anybody else in any way, shape, or form, then yay. That's what I love. You're generous. You believe that the pie is just getting bigger and growing. It's not getting smaller. And you think big and embrace risk. And so I don't know that I always embrace risk, but I feel like having that abundance mindset makes all the difference. And so when people are in scarcity mode, they're making excuses. And that is how you'll know that somebody lives in scarcity mode, is they will always have an excuse for everything that goes wrong in their life. They never take responsibility. An abundance thinker is going to take responsibility. I'm trying to think of an example and nothing's coming off the top of my head, but it is just so important that you take responsible for everything. You guys, everything. If something happens and goes wrong, you say, I'm sorry, I didn't expect that to go that way. Or so the book I'm reading gave an example that if you're in a car wreck, right? Like you made the choice. You made the choice to be on that path at that time. If you'd have left 5 minutes earlier or 5 minutes later, then you might not have been in that situation, right? And so while you getting hit wasn't your fault, it is what it is. But so many people get angry. So many people say, well, that's not fair. That's another one. Oh, that drives me nuts. Well, that's not fair. Somebody has it easier than I do. Somebody gets more than I do. Why is that person more successful? Or why is that person so lucky? I work harder than that person. Here's the deal, you guys. Work harder. Put on your blinders and work harder. If you want something, go for it. You are what's holding you back. I am just such a believer that if you think it will happen, it can come to life. It can happen. So I don't know if I've shared this recently or if I shared this with my team or if I've shared this here. But if you're hearing this again, I'm sorry. But here's the deal. The very first Moji Life cruise. So this was 2 years ago, okay? We went on the cruise. I just actually posted it in the stories 2 years ago. We went on a Moji Life cruise, but 2.5 years ago before that, when we were doing the qualifying, I told my husband, because it started, I think, in September. Might have started I think it started in September. I told my husband, I said, I'm going to be on that cruise. I'm going to earn that cruise. And I was fairly new to the company. You know, I hadn't had a ton of success. I hadn't made much money. And my husband's like, okay. So October of every year, we have to plan his entire year's vacation for the next year. So in 2000, I think it was 18?
18.
Yeah, in October of 2018, was it? Mm-hmm. Or 2017?
That was 2 years ago. 2 years ago was 2018.
Okay, whatever it was. That September is when it started. That October was when he had to take the time off. Well, guess what? He didn't take the time off. I was so mad at him. I was so frustrated because it felt like he wasn't believing in me, right? Well, so I had this vision that I was going to do whatever it took to get on that cruise, that I was going to work my butt off. And guess what I did? And so I didn't qualify in all the areas, but because of the points I'd earned, and because invited 3 or 5 of us. I think there were 5 actually. 5 of us got to go on this cruise. And so when we found out in May that I was going to go on this cruise in, I think, September, whatever it was. September. So September 2 years ago, when we found out that we were going, my husband didn't know until 2 weeks before that he was even going to get to go with me. And he was upset that I had a backup to the backup to the backup. He was upset that I was going to go whether he could go or not. I was going to go whether he could go or not. Like, I had a backup to my backup. I had 3 people lined up, right? Actually, 4. I had 4. I was like, just in case, because here's the situation. So I believed I could make it happen, and I worked my butt off, and even though I didn't completely earn it, I was invited to attend. That was so freaking awesome, right? And so I am so grateful for that opportunity, because at that point, Alan began to believe in me. And here's what I want to tell you guys. I played soccer also in high school. So my kids play soccer. I played soccer. My husband played soccer. I was not very good. I was better as an adult than I ever was as a kid. And I am so bummed that I feel like I didn't have coaches that actually taught me the skills of soccer, because I did not have the dribbling skills, but I was fast. So when people tell me that Kendra is so fast, I'm like, yeah, that doesn't just come from her daddy, because he's fast too, but I was fast. And so I was just not very good. And so my junior year of high school, I actually started on the JV team, but I had some friends on the varsity team kind of fight for me, and they wanted me to play varsity because that's where most of my friends were, right? And man, friends, those friendships I am so very grateful for. Still to this day, those are some of the people I'm closest to between that and choir. So anyways, I was a bench warmer. I was not very good. I scored 1 goal my junior year, and it was the one game my parents were out of town for, and I just happened to be at the right place at the right time for a corner kick, put a body on it, and put it in, right? It was awesome. I am still so proud of that. However, I was just not very good. But here's the thing. Even back then, I had the mindset of I will do whatever it takes. And I would tell people, I even would tell my coach, listen, because he felt bad. He knew I wasn't getting much playing time, and I said, if I knew that digging a hole with a spoon, a plastic spoon, would help my team, that's what I would do. I would do whatever it takes to help. I would do whatever it takes to help them win. And if that means I ride the bench, then I ride the bench, right? So are you doing whatever it takes in your life to get to where you want to go? Or are you making excuses? I hope you're not making excuses. If you are, stop. Stop right now. Start taking ownership. Start taking responsibility and say, I've got this. These are my goals. Start setting some out. Be a little scared. Be a little afraid of your goals, because they should be a little scary. If they don't take your breath away, then you've not set the goal high enough. I've been reading this book that talks about people set their goals too realistically. Here's the deal. If you set this huge, massive goal, but you get that close, you'd be proud of yourself for getting that close, right? Because if you'd set the goal lower, you wouldn't have even tried for that. And so I have some big goals. And here's the thing. I know I'm going to reach them. I know I am. I don't know when, but I know I am. But I believe in myself, and I'm not making excuses. I'm not blaming my team. I'm not blaming my upline. I'm not blaming my downline. I'm not blaming anybody other than myself if I don't put the work in, and I'm putting the work in. And so when it comes to life, when it comes to family, when it comes to friends, when it comes to relationships, are you scarcity or are you abundance mindset? Look for the abundance. If that means you need to start a gratitude journal, start a gratitude journal, because that will help change your focus. It's actually been proven. If you write 5 things a day that you're grateful for 21 days, I think it is, it'll change your mindset. So you guys, live your life. Live your life the way you want to. Find what you're excited about, what excites you, what are you passionate about, what do you enjoy. And if you have that 9-to-5 job that you absolutely hate, find something outside of that that brings you joy. Find a hobby, find a passion that you can go and say, okay, I'm working this 9-to-5 because then I get to go and enjoy this. Make your life what you want it to be. Hope you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Hi, Camille. Bye.